Welcome back there, pilots. All right, here we are at GBO2. It is 24 February 2025. Pacific Cali time, 10:11. Doing all right. Just got done with a match. We lost, but I was able to complete my daily mission before the reset. So excited about that, at least. More importantly, been enjoying the expansion and enhancement process. I haven't quite figured it out. I don't know that the game will tell you that you've already maxed out a slot. I think it does. I haven't read anything about it. I know, as usual, that's me never getting the fullest of effect or utilization, or what do you want? I don't know how to. I don't know the proper word for it. Never getting the fullness of anything out of anything because I just don't feel like going out there and farting around to find out. But no, so the Alex, my level 4 600 point Alex, is currently my project. Uh, and we are earning uh, points to do the modifications to it. I got about 160, 155 more kits to go and pick up, which is going to just be playing rated matches, I believe, which is always a good time, always fun. Um, I'm pretty sure there's a way to buy this with tokens. I think there is. Pretty much everything in this game is purchasable with real money by way of the tokens. So, in that way, it is pay to progress. There are more convenience things. I think in an event-based game like this one, it might be a little bit pay to win because if you're in a special event and you want to max out your leaderboard for that event to get whatever resources at the top, you will want to pay for that convenience to take that jump in the resources to spend on improving the suit of choice. Now, I mentioned before originally the Alex was my choice of was my suit of choice because it was the first Gunpla that I actually purpose built with the intent to be a display model, not necessarily a custom. I didn't do any panel etching, but I did tons of panel lining. I used an airbrush. I used weathering sticks. At the time, that's all we had. And then I found out that markers were a great way to get shading. Using markers and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip is a great way to get some detail shading and weathering. And it wasn't very heavily weathered. I wanted the Alex to be more of a anime accurate kind of weathering. So not completely, beat up and battle worn and all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not a Gundam anime fan in the purest of senses. I've always just been a very casual. When it comes to the media, I'm a very casual fan. I like to just sit down and enjoy, have a general understanding of what the plot is all I really care about, and then watch the characters progress through that plot. It's the fun part of it for me. I guess it speaks more to my dungeon master, game master kind of mentality because I've always been a dungeon master. Anytime we sit down to play any kind of RPGs, I'm the one that's in charge. I have no problem with the world directing and building. It's never been a big issue for me. It's something I do pretty much all the time passively. I mean, I could just be sitting here talking, even like right now. I'm thinking about my character Osmond and Merrick. I have a party now. Actually, there's 5 of them. There's Osmond, Merrick, Taylor, Wena, and Rhaegar. What's the other names? I've only just included the last 3. But it's been Merrick and Osmond for the last 2 chapters. Let's see. At Vaga's Landing. Yeah, it is a Iron Priest, Wena, and her 2 acolytes, Taylor and Carrick. They are my most recent addition to the party. The party's growing. Now, as far as considering them as an asset, this is Ironsworn, by the way. I'm using them more as tags than I am as an asset. I have assets in the character Like he has Augur, Devoted, Wildblood, and Archer. But I'm using bonds as tags. So, for instance, Merrick is a ranger, and my character was an Iron Priest. Is now a ranger or a warden. Um, and my Ironsworn world is very, very thinly layered over a Skyrim kind of Elder Scrolls environment. So, pulling from those character stories and classes in that game, I'm using that to inform my decisions in building an Ironsworn. But yeah, so like right now, I'm talking about what their next plan is. So the first chapter is basically Osmond trying to figure out what his character's arc is going to be. He wants to find a different truth to the secrets of the Iron Obelisks. I'm calling them obelisks, not pillars. And that is related to Conan Exiles, of course. And on his way, he discovers that some of the Iron Obelisks have gotten corrupted, and so now his deeper truth is finding out that these rocks of iron, these pillars of iron that show up throughout the land, actually can either channel sentience or they are themselves a sentient, and that's what he's trying to discover. So him and Merrick is the ranger that he encountered while investigating the first instance, and discovering about. Well, originally the original plot was that some raiders attacked this northern settlement, and he went up as a warden to basically check it out and find out who the fuck is doing this, and what we can do to track them down and get rid of the raiders, or basically find out what it is, why they're raiding, because people do it for resources, people just do it for murder, deciding what their motives are, what their intents are, and then going forward from that. And in the course of investigating this raid, which was actually a cover for a theft, tracked the thieves into the deep woods where the elves live, and then tracked them to an ancient shrine that is obviously overgrown, and ruined quite, thoroughly, except for this one chapel kind of like structure, where inside was an iron obelisk that had actually started to show actual signs of decay and corruption. There was cracks all through it. It was only 2/3 of its normal height, or presumed normal height. The average height of these obelisks is about 2 meters tall, so a little bit over a man's natural height. They're not very tall. I didn't want them being these monolithic, you know, pillars of shit out there. Got the dustbin outside. Uh, anyway, well, Citizen Gardeners, not Dustbin. Dustbin already came earlier. Anyway, so found out that it was the obelisk that had kind of not necessarily tainted or corrupted, but maybe more like possessed these hunters, and took them over. And the obelisk was trying to recover iron. And that's what it was stealing. It was using humans to steal iron from the settlements nearby. And it just so happened that one of the hunters had accidentally, that the settlement nearby had been recovering these large chunks of iron, which are similar to the obelisk. Now, it's presumed in the lore of Ironsworn that the iron obelisks are indestructible, and I haven't really decided how much, because I didn't really get too far into the details of the condition of the obelisk, other than it just showed it exuded a sense of corruption, and that it had been possessing, and that something about it was, making the hunters go mad and turn into raiders. But they were collecting iron, basically, is what it was. That's what tipped me off. And so, using that information and talking with, what was her name? I have written down, but I have no my glasses on, so yay. Deep Wilds, Desana. She's my elven contact in the Deep Wilds, the elven worlds. Anyway, she tells me of a story of a giant's tomb built over a sinkhole, built into a sinkhole, that was presumed to have been the location of an iron obelisk. So Merrick and I then head down there, and that's when we run into Wenna and her acolytes, and we find an undercover. And in this particular, the first game was basically Ironsworn vanilla. The second game is Ironsworn with Delve. The third game is going to. I have an idea of there being a strong possibility that the characters will be transported through time and space into the Starforged universe. So, going to do a bit of a crawl, kind of Conan, kind of eldritch horror thing, sort of. I don't know. It's going to have a very heavy metal kind of feel to it. The storyline is going to go into fantastical worlds, be dimension hopping. Basically, I'm going to be playing Spelljammer in Ironsworn because I like the Spelljammer universe. The original one and the new one is kind of nice. I'm not too keen on the rules. I think D&D as a whole is okay, but the minutia of the mechanics of D&D 5th edition, whether it's 2014 or 2024, I'm not a big fan of. I think there's a little bit of overkill going on in there, and things could be easier to do. And so, doing using the Black Sword hack as a framework, and then taking Ironsworn mechanics into the Spelljammer kind of world, and then seeing where the Iron Obelisks, were they gateways to other dimensions? Were they amplifiers of psychic power or magic? That kind of situation. The big questions that the culture of my world has been asking for, generations now. And yeah, my Ironsworn world is not they're not recent exiles from their old lands. They have been they've been in the Ironlands for at least a good, I want to say 125 years, which is probably about, what, 3, 4, 4 or 5, no, that would be recent, actually. I don't know. I put it such that, they have, that the first settlements, or the first landings, as they're called in my world, in my Ironsworn world, the first landings are, those that survived are not ancient, but very old, and they're kind of reaching that decadent kind of stage, similar to the Black Sword hack, or basically Elric of Melbourne kind of universe, and Conan the Barbarian kind of universe, where you have these societies that are just becoming very hedonistic and cruel, and that's why Osmond became disillusioned as an Iron Priest, because he was he was infuriated as watching his society basically descend into this selfish, narcissistic, malignantly narcissistic mentality, where everybody was just out for themselves. And so he's not only on a quest to find a deeper truth about the Iron Obelisk, but also to gather around him, people who still hold onto the ideas of community, cooperation, culture, for the sake of advancing society and all that kind of fun stuff. And then, of course, amusements, entertainment for entertainment's sake. Anyway, so that's kind of, I don't know how that devolved into what do you would call that, a recap of my last couple years of playing Ironsworn. But that's basically what happened. But anyway, back to the game here. So yeah, kind of wrapped up with the daily, goals, and I've realized that after watching about a half a dozen or so hours worth of YouTube on GBO2, figuring out what suits would work best for me is my priority. And no, the battle simulator is not really a good place to look for that. And neither is the free play games. Although the AI can be scaled up to be very brutal, it doesn't really give you a feel, because AI and human behavior are just completely different. AI is not spiteful and vengeful, whereas humans can be baited in by their egos. So getting a human to chase me is a whole lot easier than having an AI try to bait me out or chase me. But anyway, yeah, so it really is just about getting in there, picking a suit you think might work for you, and just playing it, and just playing matches. And unfortunately, the one thing in this game that still kind of twists my lips a little bit is Pity Twisters. Gives me the purple nurple. Is the lobby times. You know, you'll sit there and you'll wait for 3 or 4 minutes for a lobby to finally start forming up, and then at the last minute, as just as the 2 second counter gets to zero, somebody bails or disconnects, and I think it's just an actual trolling. I really do think it's just passive aggressive trolling. Um, and I honestly believe that that if you leave a lobby before, I mean, because there's 2 stages to the lobby. Okay, so you get out here to the menu, and we're gonna pick a quick match just because I'm already set up for it. All right, I think that I don't think there should be a waiting for other players stage. Honestly, I don't think we should be here. This is not searching for a room. Okay, maybe. All right, searching for a room. You see the little indicators at the top there. And I would like an actual physical timer on here. I use my watch, my phone, my clock over here. I use that, and I give it about 30 seconds. And if I don't have more than half the lobby filled in 30 seconds, I bail. Oh, look at that. There we go. Oh my. Wow, this is going to be a hardcore lobby. Now, see, that's the other thing too, is that when you see what you're facing here, a bunch of S and A's, and wow. Then immediately somebody saw that and was like, hell no, and they fucking bailed. um, yeah, that's the other thing about this game is that it's been out long enough, people have paid money into it enough that there's going to be more top tier players mixed in. I really don't think that should ever be a thing. But I mean, it's quick play, so it's not rated. You're not going to have to worry too much about, anything except for maybe just finding out the best way possible to survive 8 minutes without giving up too many points. Because that's basically going to be my strategic goal right now, is to survive long enough to not give up any points. Like I said, I've already fulfilled my own goals for the day, which is to fulfill the daily missions and get the enhancement tickets and the tokens. And man, I can't wait to see how this lobby goes. I'm already going to tell you right now that Agitato Agato 007 is probably going to be my rival. I'll laugh my ass off if I get Mato or Ma. These must be all Japanese players. Super Marcus, Zagot Freak. Here we go. Now watch. We'll get a 2 second counter. See what happens. Okay, perfect. And there we are. Wow, this is going to be fun. Yep, pretty much. Agatato is going to be my. It's going to be my. Can I get to the? I want to see what the member. I can't see my member list. I can't see what his profile is. Can't tell if I can't. I'm not going to be able to know if he's a Japanese or North American player. From what I understand, the servers are all still based in Japan. There's not a large population for this game, so still, after what, 5 years, 4 years, Frostbite's just taking for fucking ever. What the fuck? I thought we killed this bitch already. Playing Raid Shadow Legends in the sidebar as always. Come on, guys. This dungeon has taken 20 minutes already. We're fighting the Hydra or the Chimera by at this point. Alright. I don't understand. Why is it taking so long for... Did they reset the timer? I wasn't paying attention. I thought we were already at the 23 countdown. Well, this is pretty much going to be my last match of the morning because after this I need to get things squared away. Alright, finally. I don't get it. It's so easy to pick your suit. You should already know what you want before you go into the list. It shows you what the cost points are, what the arena is going to be. You know, you should always just be expecting the boogeyman of the week on the map. Yeah, that's whatever new mobile suits just come out that have people paid for or bought or upgraded massively. And, you know, you should just be ready to go. I don't understand why people just go AFK like this. Most times when I fail a lobby, it's because I'm in the middle of the match and I have to get up and go, you know, take care of something that needs my direct attention. And it is just a game, and yeah, I have to pay my price of 3 days not playing, but whatever.
Again. The enemy has secured a
Alright, so getting separated from the party is not a safe idea. You will end up being like right now, you know, I don't know if I'll have enough time to actually call down fire support. I'm just going to spam the button, I don't care what hits. That's the bad guy. You know what? It's pretty awesome. I'm gonna make one. Try to capture another command post. They're working. Yeah. A and S class players are that for a very strong reason. They know how to coordinate without the need of microphones. They've already decided I'm not worth it. They can kill me and I might not give up. I won't give up near as many points. But we do need some anchor. Okay. I thought maybe somebody was coming in. So yeah, when facing a lobby that we're basically going to be fodder, I pretty much just run around the map picking up control points, harassing the enemy where I can. Trying to get diversions going. These guys are definitely focusing on just the kills, so there's... At least this is something at least it makes me feel like I'm doing something, and I'm not giving up any points. So that's my main, like I said, my main strategy is just not to be that much of a detriment. Although getting in there and fighting alongside my allies would probably be of a greater use. Basically, I think really right now the best thing is this time. Don't use my mobile suit because that would just be. It's just sad because I mean that's the whole point of playing is to play in the mobile suit, but sometimes you know being infantry is the best choice. See if anybody else has figured out my strategy, or if they even care. I mean, look at that. 4 times I'm fucking scoring practically. One of the things that it's a channel that I've actually grown to enjoy quite a bit. He's very point. He's one of those classically educated individuals that will give you the thesis, make the point, and then if you understand and agree with it, you're good. Otherwise, you can hang out for the next 10 to 15 minutes listening to all the arguments supporting this point. And then, of course, because, you know, YouTube is a one-way discourse for the most part unless you're doing a live stream. you'll go ahead and do counterpoints that are of a slightly obvious nature. So, this doesn't give a shit. They came back here and looked, but they don't care. Dang it, I was kind of hoping I would get shot so I could spawn at one of the points, but that's all I have. And really, it's like, what's the most we're going to get here is like, I think, 3,000 points. We have all this fire support opportunity I created and don't use it. And literally at 2.5 minutes into the game, this could turn the fucking tide. Yeah, barely got through that. Wow. See if I can get any damage done this way. They'll be clustered. There we go. Right about there. Well, when I drop a suit, though, that's when I can start costing points. Ages since I drove a tank. We got 32 seconds. Only half this trip. Fuck. Oh, probably got killed. Could be my rival. Hey, do I kill the spider and it just regenerates? Because I don't understand how I keep losing track on it. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that was embarrassing. Well, that's what I have for today, kids. Till next time. Thanks for stopping by.